Welcome back to Rescue Bots Academy. Today we're taking a look at episode 17, Driving a Wedge. This episode begins with the recruits preparing to greet a surprise special guest. Wedge thinks it's Bumblebee. Oh boy, here it is. We're finally going to see which continuity this show takes place in. Is it in the aligned Prime continuity like the original Rescue Bots? Or is it in Cyberverse continuity because TF Wiki lists Bumblebee's actor as Jeremy Levy, the same voice actor for Bumblebee in Cyberverse? Okay, so we're finally going to learn which one it is, and...
Wes.
Huh? So it turns out the special guest is not Bumblebee, but instead some random human named Wes, who won a contest to meet the Rescue Bot recruits. That's a pretty cool prize for a contest, but it's still kind of a lame surprise for us, and especially Wedge. Hotshot's the first one to show Wes around.
Hey, thanks, Hotshot. Think you can teach me some of your cube moves?
Wait, you know I'm a cube player?
The best cube player? I'm glad I finally get to meet you in person.
Weird, I keep forgetting that the humans in Griffin Rock know about the Autobots, but didn't this come across a little bit stalkerish? If this was a more mature show, I wouldn't be surprised if Wes turned out to be a supervillain. Well, after Hotshot gives a demonstration of his moves on the obstacle course, Wes asks if he can give it a try.
Sure, but isn't it kinda big for you?
But funnily enough, Wes doesn't seem to have any trouble completing the course, which should be too big for him, even jumping several feet in the air. Are we sure Wes doesn't have superpowers? Later we see Wedge working on a part of his piston clamp arm when Wes shows interest in what he's working on. But when Wedge turns to see that it's Wes, he blows him off. Geez, I'm starting to think that Wedge is racist. Or should that be speciesist? Either way, he doesn't seem to like Wes for some reason and refuses to hang out with him. Wes watches cat videos with medics, goes lassoing in the danger room with Hoist, and flies on a swing with Whirl. The day is nearly over and Wedge still hasn't hung out with Wes, even though he helped him fix and improve his arm gimmick. Whirl finally confronts him about this. Turns out Wedge isn't racist or speciesist, he just doesn't think that he's exciting or interesting because he's a construction vehicle. But as it turns out, Wedge is actually Wes's favorite bot, and he even wants to be Wedge's human partner when he graduates. Which again, kind of comes off a little stalkerish, but it's still a little sweet. But just then they're called to a mission. Turns out a building under construction is collapsing, and Wes has already rushed in to help. With a little teamwork, Wedge and Wes manage to save the day, and the episode ends with Wedge and Wes seemingly becoming good pals. This is kind of a sweet episode. Like I mentioned previously, there are parts of this episode that feel a little bit creepy, and if this were a more mature series, I could totally see them going in a much darker direction. But it's still a very nice, wholesome episode, and one of my favorites in the series so far. And I certainly hope that if there's a future season where the recruits get human partners, like the original Rescue Bots had in the original series, I hope that Wes returns as Wedge's partner. Well, that's episode 17 of Rescue Bots Academy, Driving a Wedge. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, ring the bell, all that fun stuff. And I'll see you here next time for episode 18, The Big Small Rescue.